This is Hardy Brute with another run of Noobs Are Coming. Last time, we played the Adept Wizard, focusing on wands, focusing on cooldown, and focusing on range. And since the 0.52 update, he's got built-in range into his kit as well, which would have been very nice when we played him. But we unlocked the Grimace, who's got a flat arcane damage, increased XP, and increased movement per level up. We also unlocked the Cat, which gets crit for every dodge he has 9 HP or 9 lives. He only takes 1 damage per hit, but there's no way he can heal. The Cat sounds like a lot of fun, but I think I'm gonna pick Grimace. He's got plus 5 arcane, you can do Necromancer Wand, Explosive Decay, or a Totem. So let's go with Explosive Decay, that sounds awesome. And this is the first time we're playing difficulty 3. There's still only 20 waves, and it makes a little shadow clone of us. And that explodes after a few seconds. It also spawns the opposite direction of what you walk into it. So if you're going up, it'll spawn down. If you go left, it'll go right. And we got about 40 souls for that one. And now I'd really enjoy going a mount and going lasers. This is perfect. Every 4 amount, we get an extra laser eye. A mount doesn't do anything for our explosive decay though. But I'd like to fully commit into the laser eyes. They have incredibly low base damage, but they get 100% arcane, and this character starts with 5 arcane. So this laser eye here already does 7 damage, which is kind of insane. We've got 2 more rolls trying to get that 3rd eye. We did find a mount though, and that's kind of just as good. A lot of the mount items in the shop are limited, so it means you can only buy so many of them. So you can only get your amount so high. So a lot of the amount we're going to be getting is going to be from level ups. The laser has a low base damage of only 7, but as you can see, it hits multiple times. It does more of a tick or burn damage every 0.5 seconds or so. Well, we only got about 30 souls. Let's just take the HP so we don't get one shot. Grab the laser eye. And we can't afford anything else, so let's just move on. Wave 2 is always terrible for souls though, because it has really bad density, and one of the enemies is a girl character that just wanders around aimlessly. Sometimes she gets stuck in the corner. So when the enemies aren't actively walking towards you, it's pretty hard to kill them and collect souls. But we had pretty good laser position this map. A lot of good coverage. We're already up to 50, 60 souls. None of these really help us, so let's just reroll once. And cut our loss, take arcane damage. Currently we're doing 7 per tick, so now we're going to be doing 8. It's a pretty big damage boost. We have 2 amount, we need 4 amount total. And none of these ones. To get even more arcane damage, that's pretty good. The size doesn't help us at all though. And our last reroll. I got a green explosive decay. From 30 damage it goes up to 54, but that's the only thing that changes. The weapon is classified as upgradable, which in my mind seemed like the weapon would evolve, but it just means that you can only have one of them, and when you buy a second one it just upgrades it automatically. And that's kind of what happens with all the weapons anyways. So I think labeling an upgrade is pretty misleading. We're also not going to keep the explosive decay forever. We just didn't have a lot of options to start the run with. Ideally we want 6 lasers. So we got around 110 souls. Get souls when you block a spawn, I don't really care about that. These are all green, uncommons. So we definitely want to spend some souls rerolling. I'm trying to get a green amount. It's already costing 12, 14. Let's just take XP so we get more level ups. We can buy the arcane damage. I sort of want the health, but there's still a lot of stuff we need before that. Specifically more weapons. Get the weapons first, and then a mount hopefully. But we're doing 11.5 damage per tick on the lasers. Our arcane is pretty high. Because these white lasers are supposed to be doing 2 damage, I think. Our explosive does around 32 damage, and it only does it the one time. So the lasers are destroying. And they are probably my favorite weapon in the game so far. They may even be too strong, but I hope they don't ever nerf it. Got around 150 souls. Got another level up. Let's spend some money on rerolls. Cooldown's okay. Really just want a mount. Found a green amount. Got a second level up too. So both white and green only gives you one amount. Blue amounts are where it's at, I guess. Start getting +2, +3. Got another lucky laser eye. It's perfect. Kinda want to buy HP, but if we die, we die. More luck, cheaper rerolls, that's perfect for us. Because we're going to be rerolling the shop and the level up a lot. And we may as well buy the HP. Can't afford the reroll, and it's not really worth saving. Ideally, we need at least 30 HP anyways, so that the frog doesn't jump on our brains and destroy all our hopes and dreams. So then we'd survive with 2 or 3 HP. Our lasers cover a lot of space, but right now we're kind of in a bad position, because we can only shoot right, and we're at the right side of the map. But so far it's going pretty good. We don't really have any healing besides potions, and potions are kind of a joke. They heal you only 1, unless you have a special trinket, which I don't think we have. Yeah, but it looks like the base heal is +2 now. So let's just get the HP regen, so we have some sort of healing. Damage would be good, but +3 arcane damage, it would be a lot better. Let's get the cheaper rerolls, and get the arcane damage. And we finally found another laser eye. It does 17.3 damage with our arcane, when it's supposed to be doing 2. So that's kind of crazy. Let's lock down the more chest, and we got one more reroll. So ideally we want 2 more lasers. They're positioned all the same way, which is pretty funny. Took a big hit there. But I'm not too concerned about even leveling up the lasers. But I'm not overly concerned with leveling up the lasers to green, blue, or purple, because the only thing it changes is the base damage, which is 2, and then I think the purple ones, I think the base damage is 4. So we'd have a lot more benefit just buying arcane damage. But ideally we want 6 lasers, and focus on a mount. See what that does to the lasers. I'm really hoping we're going to be a big red circly ball, because we'll have so many lasers around us shooting. That would be pretty cool. And then anything that touches us would just die instantly. We hit level 10, so all the items are blue. So we definitely want to roll for a mount here if we can get it. And we did, perfect. +2 amount. So we just broke through amount 4. So we should have double lasers. We have 4, and it should be 8 now. Grimmery, that's us, the item. But it doesn't really do a whole lot of what we do. We do arcane damage, we get speed. I think we did have an XP boost. None of these items. I get the more HP, I suppose. More arcane damage. And XP. And that's pretty much like we turned all our white weapons into green ones. And hopefully we get another laser. And we did. And as you can see, everything's exactly the same duration cooldown. It just went from 2 damage to 3 damage. And what is this nonsense? So instead of shooting multiple lasers for myself, it shoots out the laser at its full length, and then it bends from the end, and shoots the second laser from there. Now that's actually pretty cool. We can no longer be the ball laser, but this is actually a lot more effective and better for farming. And I don't hate this. It's pretty chaotic though. Like watching all the lasers just bend. We definitely want our final laser. Get some more amount so we can triple our lasers. and see if we can fill the entire board. That sounds pretty fun. But I feel we're pretty strong right now. Doing 18.5 per tick. And we found a purple health. And when it gives you a purple, you kinda just gotta take it. And we found our final laser. So we have skill and wizard. Skill gives us 15% damage. Wizard was actually the reason why we were healing +2 from potions. I see. And it gave us a little bit more XP and a little bit more arcane damage. Found a green laser eye. I mean, might as well. It is just +1 damage though. It's pretty terrible. Let's continue to roll. We really need more amount now. And none of these. Get some more HP. I guess we are at 50. We can't get anything else anyways. And now we got 6 lasers shooting around wildly. Also like the fact that when they hit the walls, they just bounce right off. We have a bit of a gap in the middle though, where the enemies can sort of walk through at us. But our damage is really good. Our range is kind of insane. We can kill enemies off the screen that we can't even see. And wave 9 is a great farming wave, but it's also a do or die. If your build kind of sucks, you don't have any damage, it's really easy to get overrun. And I actually really like the bending of the lasers. They move around when you move around. It actually gives you the ability to aim them a little bit. They're no longer just fixed and locked in one position. A lifesteal regen. It's worth 10 though. Let's just sell it. I know for a fact the serpent chain doesn't actually affect our build, so might as well take that. More HP. These are all just random. We could get a mount or just get more XP. The XP will give us more mount eventually. And none of these ones. Let's get more chests, more arcane, and the 8% damage too, that doesn't hurt. But it's like we level up our weapons one more time again. Reach 50% XP, we unlocked something. More damage, I suppose. Our damage is pretty high, so the percentage is going to be a big boost. And let's move on, we're out of cash. And the tail makes all of your weapons follow behind you, but the lasers always shoot from your main body. So the tail is just a benefit, it doesn't affect us at all. And so we just got an extra 10% movement speed for free. Our damage is now up to 23.6, 22 sometimes, depending if it's a green or a white weapon. I am pretty sad that the laser doesn't scale at all though. I'm not sure it needs to, seeing as how much damage it does. But it's very disheartening to just level it up for 1 damage. And no other benefit. We can kill Leroy Jenkins right there, like, instantly. We have a lot of damage. Got almost 300 souls. Plus 1 HP. I mean, might as well, it's a unique. Just get rid of all the uniques. Drinking potions gives you damage. Once again, unique. If it's a unique, it's going to make the shot better if it's gone. We haven't seen a mount in such a long time. The rerolls aren't that expensive. Got a +2 blue amount, nice. And now they're up to 30, 34. And we got a second white amount. Perfect. So now we're up to 8 amount. So we have 6 weapons. We're gonna have 18 lasers going on. Increase our chest. 25 damage, amount times 3. The amount being only 4 is pretty good too. A lot of the turrets we had 6 or 7. 4 is much more achievable. So now we can hit from corner to corner pretty much. And if we get close to the wall, they all just converge. But I don't know if you can actually stack the damage. Also don't know if we even need to do that though. Because you kind of just see the one tick of the laser touching them. But sometimes you can see, like right there, you saw some stacking numbers. This wave has the archers, and the archers kind of suck. They spawn slowly, they kind of do their own thing. And they send really annoying projectiles around. But the density on wave 11 is pretty bad. So even though we're hitting a massive area, doing a lot of damage, we only got around 230 souls. More damage, more health to the enemies. That's just going to be more damage eventually. We hit level 15 and these are all purple now. We found Arcane, but I'd really prefer a mount. XP, and there's +3 amount, perfect. So we need one more amount to ×4 our laser. We're up to 27, almost 28 damage. When we first started playing in patch 0.3, some of the items in the shop that had a mount weren't necessarily limited, so it was a lot easier to scale. But so far we're still doing pretty good with the amount. We got nothing but green lasers now. We could get one more damage, but I'd rather just save the money. I think our damage is plenty good right now. And now we have triple lasers, and they almost hit the wall and come back and touch us. Our range is insane. And if we can somehow make the arena even smaller, they're just gonna loop around and touch everything. And each time I play this game, I think the last build is broken. And then the next character, and then the next character. Because our Adept Sorcerer, the last one we played, he was probably the strongest one we played so far. He destroyed the bosses pretty fast. But this one is just insane. The amount of space we cover. So I wonder how good the lasers are going to be against the bosses. It also does seem like the lasers stacking and overlapping. It does increase the damage, which would make the amount really good against bosses. We got about 260 souls. We just need one amount here. So I think I'm going to roll kind of hard for it. Because we're at 11 and we need at least 12. Cooldown would be okay. But we don't really need a cooldown. And we got the amount that we wanted. Get our first blue laser. And +2 arcane damage. But now we have 6 weapons. 7 weapons, possibly. ×4. Currently we have 24. Or we can get 28 lasers after we buy that and get a second laser. And now the lasers are definitely long enough to hit ourselves. Unless they bend at crazy angles. But they spawn and they die. Except for the toads, which are invincible while they're in the air. And I do not like that. The toads are our mortal enemies. They have killed me a number of times early on. But then when there's only 1 or 2 toads, it's pretty easy to avoid them. I just don't think they should do nearly as much damage as they do. The same thing with the rogues. The rogues hit for about 7. The charger guys, I think they hit like 9-ish. But they're easier to avoid. The rogues have a speed buff. Let's get our extra weapon slot. And it came with its own weapon. We found the purple unique item, +4 amount. Grab a bit more damage. Our amount is at ×5 now. We're doing 32.2 damage. And we have 7 weapons. So we're shooting 35 lasers off. They're bouncing, bending, reflecting. And look how much space we cover. We can basically just stand here in the middle. If it wasn't for the toads. That one toad got hit by so many lasers at once. He just exploded. Yeah, I'm pretty convinced now that they're stacking. Especially with how many lasers we have going on. It was harder to tell when we were poor, but we only had 8 lasers going on. And not 35. Still getting some pretty big smacks, but I feel incredibly safe. I think that toads are the only things that could kill us if I'm not paying attention. And because they do 25, 28 damage. Let's just get rid of the unique. A bit of armor. A purple XP. That should give us at least one more level. Let's roll. We can get the life. Give us 35 life. Green lasers. Now we got 2 blues. Now these don't help. I think we have enough HP at this point. And got another blue laser. And it really goes 3, 4. If we had a purple, it'd be 5. It's just so sad. And we're fighting the boss. I think we do the most damage in this bottom left corner here. Got a lot of overlapping lasers down there. He's half dead at about 15 seconds. I think our damage is pretty good. We just don't really have a lot of control of where it aims. But he's like 10% and it's only half the time. And get shreked. I kind of wish on these boss stages that the round would just end early. They'd give you a bonus, or something along those lines. I know you'd be giving up the farming, but that's the main point of the game right now, is to fight the boss. Yeah, the game doesn't always have to follow exactly what Brotato laid out. We're definitely interested in how they just sort of branch out and do their own thing. Using this as a core. Another unique item. This is the Adept's ability. +1 amount, perfect. Plus 15% damage, sure. Well, let's just merge the greens so we get the extra blue. So now we have 4 blues. And if we're lucky enough, we can find an 8th weapon slot. But that's a red legendary. And we do extra damage when we stand in the circle, an extra 20%. We're doing 42s. 42 to 40. Otherwise we do about 37s. So far the density in this one is pretty terrible. And we're literally hitting the entire map. So you know the density is bad when we instantly kill the enemies and hit the entire map and still only have 140 souls. It wouldn't matter if we're stronger here. The wave is just against us. At least we found a chest. But I guess you gotta have bad waves to get good waves. Dodge, duration, I don't really care about that. It's our first purple one. It does have 5 base damage. We have an amount of 17, and we need an amount of 20 to get times 6. 35 to 38 damage, a difference of 3. Size, extra arcane damage. We made the purple laser a red laser, just with that arcane damage. And this one looks pretty cool. You can see all the ends right next to us. Yeah, they all bounce back at just the right position. Doing some 40s, some 45s. There's quite a few toads in this one. Density is still pretty terrible. But the game does a good job at making wave 19, wave 14 super dense though. So you get one really big shopping spree, at least before the end or before you fight the boss. And I haven't noticed a ton of difference between danger level 2 and 3 so far. I don't really think the enemies do more damage, but maybe they have more health. So that was wave 17. We're only going to have a couple more chances, depending on if we get 2 levels, to get a mount here. So I'm going to roll probably all my souls here, because we need 3 more amount. So last reroll. And we didn't get it, but we'll have at least 2 more tries. And fingers crossed, we can get at least 3 amount. That means we need a blue amount for one of them, which could be a challenge. And honestly, we don't need any more lasers, but I do want more. I always need more. Probably when we had an amount of 3 of lasers. We should transition into damage if we really wanted to min-max. Because at some point having even more lasers doesn't really help you. But it does look pretty awesome. That guy got hit so many times by the lasers. But we went from about 150 to 100, now we got 300 per wave. So it's slowly ramping up. More HP, sure. Arcane damage, yes please. Ooh, these are all purple. So we really need a mount here. This would be perfect for us. This will give us 20 amount. And give us 6 lasers. There's arcane damage. This is the last reroll, and we didn't get it. Come on, man. Well, we have one more chance. If we somehow get the purple amount next time, it'll give us +3, and we'll have 6 lasers per laser. 6 times 7, we have 42 lasers. And Gambler's Fallacy, because we haven't gotten an amount for such a long time, it is guaranteed now. There's just no other option. But sadly we didn't get an amount 1, 2, so it has to be purple. And there aren't reds or a lot of legendaries in the game, at least for stat points. So while there's a chance, I'm not sure we're gonna get it. The Trail of Flowers does a lot of damage, and it's really hard to avoid too, because it lingers for quite a while. We did decent with these souls, they're around 600. Instantly attract, sure. More HP, even more HP. And there is a limited item that we haven't gotten yet. So instead of wasting all of our souls here, I'm just going to take the damage. I'm going to try to roll for that limited items. It's a +2 amount. Yeah, it's right here, it's Spammers. +2 amount. It does say it's unique now though. This used to be a limited item, you could buy 2 of them, and that's what I was planning to do, because we needed both of them in order to break past 20. So that is incredibly sad. There are no other items inside the shop that actually give a mount that I'm aware of. So we're stuck at 19. And we can't fit any more lasers inside of our lasers. Our damage, which is very good, I would have expected to do more to the bosses. To sort of melt them, to stack on them. He almost dies in 20 seconds, which is still very, very good. But for how many lasers we have, how much overlap there is. Even standing in the damage buff area. You would think he would die even faster. Yeah, so it's just us and the toads. We got 69 life. Very, very nice. And I really didn't see that much difference between difficulty level 2 and level 3 so far. But this was probably the strongest build that I've played. So we beat difficulty level 3, the purple one. Our laser eyes were doing 51 to 52 damage. And we unlocked 3 different bosses, it looks like. The Scrollmancer, a 100% XP, more expensive items. The Vile Thorn, more plant damage, more plant duration, faster watering. And the Polyfocus. You can only find attacks you're already equipped with. Well, that guy sounds like the most interesting. I hope you enjoyed. This was pretty fun. And I'll see you later.